As you've gotten older, do you feel like your priorities have changed? Also, have you realized, maybe with or without shame, that you have ghosted a potential friend in the recent months, years? Because I have. I don't know. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or proud of myself for having a boundary, or if there would be a better way for me to do it. But I think we just need to jump in and talk about it. It's hard to make friends in your 30s, but now we're also realizing that if we don't want to. Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself in all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you? I have multiple thoughts already of my priorities just aligning differently as I get deeper into the 30s and have a family. And it just changes everything.
I don't even have that. And I think my priorities have changed as I've gotten older.
But we can dive into circumstances and see where this lands us, because I have definitely 100% on this. Oops.
I think we've multiple times discussed you forgetting to respond to people, legitimately forgetting to respond to them. I'm curious if there are actual intentional avoidant times that we're not responding to people. I can say for myself, I have this problem. Here's what I've reflected upon. I have a problem where I really don't have a lot of friends that live here locally. So sometimes I get overly excited when I meet somebody that I sort of click with. And maybe I get a little bit too excited a little too quickly, like summer camp. And then I have immediate regret when it comes time to actually follow through and make another plan. Also, though, I have over the years, because we've lived in this area since I've been here since 2010, 15 years. God. So there's been times that I have met people and had time. Things of my life have changed since I moved here. I've gotten married. Work has become more demanding. Also, my priorities, I think, have just shifted. And some of the people that I was friends with, we don't have stuff in common anymore. I think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with how to address that head on, other than to just keep saying no until they get the hint.
That's kind of how I feel. Unless you just really want to be blunt and say, I don't have time for this friendship right now. Okay, it's funny because a couple years back, Kenny and I literally put it on our goal list to make more genuine connections and make more friends, which is what we thought we wanted. When I tell you, the universe delivered that year. And we got introduced to so many people. I'm thinking of a few in particular. I'm not going to get into details, but it ended up being so exhausting. And we looked at each other at the end of the year and we're like, we're never putting this on the list again. We actually didn't want this, we realized. We thought we wanted it and we were like, nope. Once we started hanging out and getting invited to everything, and there was all this pressure that we probably put on ourselves. Granted, it was a lot on us, but we're such homebodies now. And these friends were complete opposite, and they always wanted to do stuff, and they always wanted to have a million people over, and they always were inviting new people over. And so it was such a mosh posh of people. And I was like, this is too overwhelming for me. I don't want to meet new people every time. You know what I mean? My age and my personality now, I don't want to make small talk and try to make new friends every single time we all get together. I just want a steady group of people that I know and feel comfortable with, and that I don't have to try so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you find also that, do you have friends that were pre-kid friends who still don't have kids, where it's hard to mesh schedules?
Yes.
Has that been a little bit of a wrench in the system?
100%. Luckily, the friends I'm thinking of all understand, and as far as my knowledge, have no animosity towards me and my schedule. So we're on a good page now. I think at the beginning, when we first had our child, it was a little more shocking. And the friends that didn't have kids at the time maybe were unaware of how it is. And now that they have kids, now they understand, which is what the boat we were into, because we were not the first ones to have kids. It's I didn't realize what the first people were going through when they had their kids. And then we went through it. And then these other friends now have gone through it. So we're all on the same page. We're not offended. But there are some people where I'm like, I see you twice a year and I love the time that we spend together. But that's all the time. How is that even possible?
Okay. Here's my nightmare scenario is when I run into people that I haven't seen in a long time. And it didn't used to be a nightmare scenario. I used to get excited and go seek them out. And I realize now that if I see somebody I haven't seen in a while that I don't really need to reconnect with, I hide. I literally just did it the other day at the grocery store.
Yes, I'm such a doofy dork that like even my neighbor that I saw the other day at the grocery store, I just didn't have the energy to even say hi. It wasn't going to be a long conversation. They weren't expecting to hang out afterwards. I just didn't even want to say hi. How's your day going? And make small talk. So I was just like down the other aisle.
There's just some people where it's the social thing that people do where they just say, oh, we should catch up sometime, but we shouldn't. And we're not going to. And I just don't want to pretend that that's what's going to happen. And it's not even necessarily because there's something wrong with these people. I would argue it's that there's something wrong with me and I just don't have the bandwidth. But I have realized that I love spending time with Jason. I love our house. I love that, like you said, the time with him is basically as recharging as being alone. And the threshold of spending time with somebody else being worth it keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And the people that I have long established friendships with are not the people that live locally. It's real tough. I would also argue some of it is healthcare and some of it is being in small talk situations in an office setting that are also exhausting. So I am even an extrovert and I hate we should get together. It's been so long. And then how have you been? What have you been up to? Nothing. I have nothing to tell you that's exciting or interesting. I have no excuse.
Can you imagine how it is as an introvert? I'm struggling over here. But you know what's the good thing about all of this is that I have now an excuse that we have a child, a toddler, then I can get out of pretty much anything. Not like I'm trying to get out of stuff, but if it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't do it, then we either we leave early or we don't go at all.
I used to think that honesty was the best policy, to just tell people I don't have the bandwidth for this, but I don't know if it's true. And I am still coming back to the fact that I don't know how else to get rid of people is wrong. I don't know how else to do this other than to slow fade people out and hope that they catch the hint.
Because people get so offended. If you were actually to say if you were a mature adult and said, I just don't have the capacity for this new friendship in my life right now, you know how butthurt that person would be probably? Which is exactly why you're not friends with them in the beginning. Because here's my thing. Yes, I ghost people accidentally. A lot. I ghost you a lot.
People have to want to be friends with you. You make them work.
No, but here's the thing. I guess if you just understand how I am with this stupid thing that we call a phone, with this stupid communication style that we call text, it's like, I guess, am I old school or am I just overwhelmed with work? I think it's probably the second one.
Probably but anyway, a combo platter, because you've traditionally been spotty in responding.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just me. But it's like, if I don't respond to someone, I have a lot of good friends. I have a few really, really close friends, and then I have a lot of good friends that I could call at any point and ask for help. They all know that it could be 2 business days before I get back to them. And no one's ever said anything. Maybe in their head, they're like, well, this is annoying. But no one's ever said anything, and we're still friends and it's fine. The people that have a problem with it and take it personally haven't gotten the time to get to know me. And when they press me about it, then I'm completely turned off. And I'm like, well, this is how I am. So if you're going to take it personally and be butthurt, this is not the friendship for you, because I can't respond that quickly all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I think that's very valid. I've had numerous instances here recently where people that have just sort of faded out of my life naturally, I think mutually too, have come back around and asked me if they did something.
My God, that's awkward.
Oh, it makes
They've been thinking about you so long. It
makes me feel so bad. It makes me feel so bad and so guilty. And then what I thought was a mutual just fading away and change, just taking 2 different paths, it turns out wasn't. And I seriously, until we started talking about this, because apparently it's a trending topic on X with people in their 30s, but I didn't really realize that I ghost people. I thought that was only something that happened in the dating world. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, no, wait, I am actually, it's kind of what I've been doing.
I thought you were going to say, I only thought you ghosted people.
No, I only thought that was a dating life thing, but then I kind of realized, no, I do that to people, do. And but again, I keep going back to this, I don't know a better way. And in these couple of instances where people have circled back around, since many years, it's making me reconsider everything and feeling so uncomfortable.
My God, I'm sorry. There's a huge spider on my wall. Okay, I'll be okay. Keep going.
I don't know. In this particular instance, I don't want to give away too many details because I don't think she listens to this, but genuinely, it had not occurred to me to think about it. I legitimately thought we just both mutually were like kind of paths divided. She started having kids. I moved to an area that was a little bit further away, and we just, neither of us were reaching out. So I just sort of thought, was fine.
Okay, so if no one's reaching out, then what does that say? I thought like she may have been texting you, and instead of being like, hey, no, like making some excuse like I can't hang out, you were just like completely ignoring her text.
Okay, also, yes, let me make that caveat. I don't flat out ignore people. I just keep saying no until they stop
Okay,
asking.
that's a
But
big
I don't
difference.
recall, I know, I don't recall the ending of this in any sort of way. I don't even recall avoiding her that often. I just thought maybe like once or twice and then she quit asking. I was like, well, it's just, we don't have an interest anymore and that's cool. I am also very much of the mindset that some people are in your life for a season and I don't think that that's a bad thing. So I don't feel the need when I meet someone and we click and we kind of have fun for a time. I don't feel the need to cloister them in my life and require that we have annual, State of the Union meetings to keep that up. I can think of another great example of this woman that I used to work with at Starbucks when I was younger. And her husband is in the military, so they obviously move around and they had a bunch of kids. I swear to God, they have like 25 kids, but they had a lot of kids. And now they're back in this area because that's the military tends to boomerang around here. And I ran into her, and joy of all joys, she didn't suggest that we should catch up again.
I love that.
Neither
I
did
love
I.
that.
Actually, I may have gotten so uncomfortable that I said, I have your phone number. Well, I think I just texted her because I also have a disease. I have a disease. I also, though, have the real heart for people that are in the military because you're alone. It's not just that they're in the military, but living in a new area without family with kids has got to be overwhelming. And I'm sure his squadron, that might not be the right word for the Navy, I'm sure that they are supportive. So they probably don't need me. But I do always feel the need to throw out a lifeline to people when they're in an area without family to just say, if you need something, please don't feel like you can't ask. Okay. But neither of us said we should catch up. Neither of us made fake brunch plans. It was lovely. I was like, yeah, I've been seeing you, I follow you on Instagram. I've seen that you've had kids. That's so cool. I love that you guys are back. It was really refreshing. So just the
That's nice.
dichotomy of the two. There was another person that I did keep saying no to, separate from this other example, that also asked me, did she do something? Like, no, it's not. It's legitimately not you guys. It's me. Like I said, my time is so limited that and my home life is so pleasant and relaxing and calming that I don't really want to pry myself out of that to go make small talk with someone.
I have my spider crusher ready in case it comes close. So it sounds like people have to work hard to be your friend too.
Yeah,
You know,
I guess it's hard to develop the deep sort of friendship connection. And I don't, and as I say that, I've also experienced people who want to have deep soul searching conversations all the time, which I also don't really want to do. I kind of want to make crude jokes and laugh about stuff. I also just don't love going to brunch and
I'm
going.
a brunch girl if I had the time. I feel like if you could just come into a new friendship with like no expectations and just have fun in the moment and it organically develops into something, and then you start hanging out with them more and you want to see them more, and then maybe one day you do have deeper conversations, that's completely fine with me because you're like developing the depths of the friendship. But I feel so uncomfortable when I don't know somebody and they like are soul penetrating me. And I'm just like, I don't like this. You're asking weird questions and you're making me uncomfortable. And I don't know, dude. I feel like in our 30s, because even if you don't have a family, even if you don't have a husband, now you have a husband and I obviously have a husband and I also have a kid, and that's top priority for both of us. But even if you didn't have any of that, I feel like in your 30s, you just understand your time is precious and that it
Mhm.
is fading quickly and we're not going to live forever. Why waste your time hanging out with people you don't want to hang out with or fostering a friendship that you know is not going to go anywhere? It's just kind of like a waste of everyone's time.
Mm.
That's kind of how I feel like it is. We're just getting older and we're realizing time is going so fast that like my time is precious. This is number one.
I have found meet people through work and bond with people at work. And then it's kind of nice because we can chat and we can talk about work things and personal things. And so I have a couple of people now that I really click with. Neither of us are trying to get together, but none of us really live in the same area. But I sort of love the work bestie vibe because you see each other all the time and you're already seeing each other at a thing you already have to do. So there's no extra time commitment, but I don't think that they're any less valid or helpful.
Correct.
And I love that. It doesn't
And
take
you
any
know they're
time
going to
away.
see them for another 8 hours tomorrow. So
Yes.
it's like you don't have to hang out after work. I have to kill this spider because it's moving into a place where it's going to hide. It's going to come back and eat me in my sleep. Okay, I killed it. Did
I
you
was
hear my
singing the
scream?
Jeopardy song. No,
Good. I'm glad the mic didn't pick it up. I screamed really hard.
I don't like a spider.
It was a wolf spider.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I think they have banana spiders here. Is that the right thing? I don't want to talk about spiders. So, what were we saying? I don't know. The work bestie. I love a work bestie. I feel like they are bridging the gap for me socially, and it doesn't require any more of my free time. And if we transition into why is this happening now, you already kind of touched on it. But what I realized is that one, for me as a dink, dual income, no kids, I have goals and priorities for myself and goals and priorities for Jason and I as a family. And then also I have extended family, limited, but some. And I recognize that I need to invest into those relationships as well. And I need to spend time on my own personal goals and hobbies and things like exercising or meal prepping and planning. And excuse me, our podcast is one of my favorite hobbies and creative ventures. And I have to do things that refill me so that I can go to work and talk about death and be supportive to people and let them take my energy in a healthy way with boundaries. It does not leave time for extracurricular activities. And I don't really have time to risk the chance that something will not be,
Yes, you hit it on the head. Is that the saying? You hit the nail on the head. Like, I hardly have time to do what I want to do. I hardly have time to take care of myself. I'm like on the edge of life with a toddler. But no, it's like you work all day, you're on, you come home, you have your things you have to do, like make dinner and try to exercise and try to prioritize health, which means you're making food. And then I have to try to bathe and put down a toddler and spend time with that toddler and have present time with my husband. It's like there's not a lot of room left. And the room that is left is so special that I only will agree to things when I know it's going to, like you said, fill my cup. I don't want to risk this one little sliver that I get every 3 to 5 weeks of time on a situation where I'm like, well, that was a fucking waste of time. That was not fun.
The thing that I've been also a little bit struggling with, though, is that I recognize to be part of a community, you have to have some level of self-sacrifice. And Jason and I keep talking about how do you have community in our age bracket and without kids? I don't know. That's a different conversation probably for another day, but I
It's
sort
a
of
good
feel like,
question.
if I'm going to do something that might be potentially draining, though, I still feel like I want to invest that time with my family, no offense. Because those are relationships that I think I need to maintain and foster. And shout out to my aunt and to Erin and my mom, but especially my aunt. The people who are willing to have a relationship on the phone. And that sounds kind of shitty, but I spend so much time driving. It's so nice that I can call people and we can catch up and we can schedule time to talk. Like that's what my friend Erin and I do and be intentional. And those are also the people that I appreciate. And I don't know that you can necessarily have a new friendship that way. I don't know. I blasted one of my work besties on the way home yesterday on the phone for a while. But anyway, it's nice that you can have these people who also understand you enough to know that we're busy, we have stuff going on, and to use technology to your advantage. And I hate to always be in this multitasking mindset, but it's so lovely if I'm already driving or I'm already at my house doing chores. I can pop in an AirPod and give somebody a call and we can catch up and it can be a great conversation and just catching up and blah, 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 or talking about nothing. And it doesn't take time away from me getting the stuff done that I need to do to survive the remainder of the week and to move forward toward whatever goal I'm working on, or doesn't take away from a hobby or something that I am needing to do to feed myself to continue to remain in motion.
Exactly. No, I 100% agree. The work
Or
bestie
Marco
is definitely
Polo.
or Marco Polo. I know it's so fun. And it's fun too because then like I can spend as much time on there as I want. And then if I'm like sometimes even like I'm on the phone a lot for work, like talking to people, talking through problems. I mean, you do the same thing in a different capacity, but it's like I yesterday I was on the phone. I probably should go back and look. I swear it was like 2 hours of the day I was on the phone. Not to mention I was with people for 6 hours, damn near
Yeah.
felt like. Anyway, so I'm like, "Ooh, wow, my drive time is consumed by still communicating with people on a work situation." So sometimes I can't even like I just have to listen to music or I have to listen to a podcast where I can kind of like zone out but take in the information. I love Marco Polo, which is nice though because like again, if I have an hour drive, we could Marco Polo back and forth for 50 minutes. And sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna Marco Polo you once and then like I need some mental time and you're never offended. And that's the beauty of it. Anyway, so instead of a phone call where I'm like, shoot, like I feel like I need to keep it going. So I don't know. Marco Polo is like the perfect balance for me. So
I know. It's been a good tool for us to bop back and forth, and it feels more interactive. I thought I was going to say something else, but I don't really think I was going to. Oh, the only other thing I was just going to say, and probably other DINKwads in the world feel this, is it's hard to meet new people as well for me because so many people in our age bracket are moms with young kids. I feel like it's selfish of me to even want to take any of their time when they have so much stuff going on. And it's hard. I have a difficult time giving up my time. I'm overly aware of how they have no time and then they have no time and then our schedules don't jive.
oh yeah, that's fine.
Because I get it with the bedtime thing. You want to go somewhere earlier. I don't want to drink at 2 in the afternoon,
Mm-mm.
but I don't care that other people do to do it and then get home in bedtime. It just, the clocks don't line up and the hours don't line up. So sometimes I think that can be a barrier to making new friends. So all of Jason and I's social contacts are all near retirement with adult children. We had to like jump the age gap and we can come back to our own age people when their kids get a little bit older. I'm just thankful for the people who aren't offended by that. I'm thankful for friends of mine who do have young kids where we have an understanding and we make it work, and for technology. I think that's what it boils down to. But I just can't. I'm having to do small talk more often in an office setting now. I can't do it after hours. It took all of my energy not to physically roll my eyes and have a visceral reaction to this annoying man yesterday telling me that it was Friday Eve. It takes all of my energy not to just be an absolute dick bag to people when they make weekday based jokes and just the dumb fucking small talk in an office. I can't do it after hours.
Bad.
I don't have it in me.
I agree.
I don't.
I agree.
I think I've done 34. How old are we? 33.
Yeah, don't add another year yet. Not
I've
yet.
done 33 years of small talk and I'm done. I've expired.
You wrap that up perfectly. And I would say if you're the type of person who's seeking friendship, maybe just like don't come on so strong. Like just ease into it. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like don't
I'm
be
sure I've
weird.
come on too strong to people. I'm a very intense Scorpio, I've realized. But I'll come on too strong and then I'll really regret it. Because if they meet my strength, then it's like, oh, no.
And then you just keep saying no. No, I can't hang out. No, I can't hang out.
Anyway, I'm feeling so much discomfort just thinking about these situations. If you've experienced a friend breakup in your 30s, tell us why. We don't really have any super dysfunctional boundary setting needs for friendship breakups, but I know that they're out there. So write us, tell us, we can break them down next week. You can ask for our advice. We probably won't give you any because we're in no position to do so, but we could all commiserate together on how awkward it is when you get that we should catch up text and you should not.
It's like, what excuse do I use now that I haven't used recently? That's not going to sound like an excuse, but that is completely an excuse.
Yes. And I think some people just say it to be polite, and I want to give everyone who knows me blanket permission that you don't have to be polite in that manner. I'm fine. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.